In this WrestleTalk news, Roderick Strong requested and denied his WWE release, a surprising AEW star had his contract expire, Ollie's review of Raw, and more. Subscribe and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos because it's day 2 of the Randy Games. At the end of this video, Adam is going to destroy Andy in his challenge.
Support WrestleTalk!
Support Andy Datson!
Who put that support bumper there? Get that out of here! None of that! NXT releases have been the talk of the town, with another slew of cuts coming late last week, but it's someone else over in AEW that has actually departed their company now, and it's a very surprising name. It was noticed by fans yesterday that the Dark Order's Stu Grayson had been removed from AEW's roster page along with Joey Janela and Marco Stunt, two people whose contracts have expired. We hadn't previously heard anything about Stu Grayson, however. While this was initially just speculation, it has now seemingly been confirmed by the Wrestling Observer, who reported that the belief is that Grayson's contract has indeed expired and he will be leaving AEW. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful also tweeted to say that he heard the same thing, but he hadn't been able to verify that information yet. Grayson had been in AEW since the beginning, sticking with the Dark Order throughout his tenure. His final match actually aired yesterday on Dark Elevation, where he competed with Evil Uno, Preston Vance, Alan Angels, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver in a winning bout against Anthony Bennett, Corey Mashaw, Mike Lowell, Jaden Valo, Eli Isom, and Brett Waters. This was taped prior to last week's Dynamite. Meanwhile, over in WWE, there's some more releases. Wait, no, sorry, there's requests for releases that have been denied right after WWE released more people because of budget cuts. Makes perfect sense to me. Fightful Select is reporting that Roderick Strong has requested his WWE release, but this is not the first time, as he's actually requested his release multiple times over the past few months. This is reportedly due to Strong having grown frustrated with many things over the past year with the company, and he is now the last member of the originally pitched lineup for his faction Diamond Mine left in the company, as the initial lineup was reported to be Roderick Strong, Arturo Ruas, Marina Shafir, Tyler Rust, Hideki Suzuki, and Malcolm Bivens. Shortly before that, Strong had reportedly re-signed with WWE shortly before Diamond Mine's debut in NXT, meaning he most likely has quite the weight on his contract. The Fightful Select report also noted that Strong was pitched a name change, which Strong opposed. There are also reportedly others that were very surprised that Strong was not part of the latest round of NXT cuts, as he had seemingly made it quite clear he wanted out. However, on WWE's side, they reportedly say that Strong has remained professional surrounding his creative and confirmed that they have no plans on granting his release as he factors into their plans. With Mustafa Ali and now Roderick Strong being denied their releases amongst seas of cuts, but with Ali recently being brought back to Raw, who knows what the future holds for Strong, but fingers crossed he can get what he wants before long. Switching back to AEW, excitement is building for next month's Forbidden Door AEW New Japan crossover show, with fans already booking their dream card. And now arguably the biggest star New Japan has weighed in on his views on the Forbidden Door show. Kazuchika Okada retained his IWGP Heavyweight Championship at New Japan Wrestling Don Taku against Tetsuya Naito, and then a post-show press conference mentioned to the press that he should absolutely be a part of it, adding that there wouldn't be much point in doing Forbidden Door if he wasn't there. Fantasy bookers, that's all the material you need. Get booking. And now, hot tag to Ollie.
Before we get on with the rest of the episode, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to this video's sponsor, Z-Biotics, the probiotic drink engineered by PhD scientists that if you drink it before having alcohol, it sets you up for a great next day. You can get 15% off your first order using our link in the video description below. Flash fact, you feeling terrible the morning after drinking isn't actually because of dehydration, or the crippling fear that you said something and now nobody likes you anymore. Why did you have to go say Panic Room was David Fincher's best movie, Ollie? It was Zodiac! You know it's Zodiac! You don't even like Panic Room! Those rough mornings after are actually because of the toxic byproduct of alcohol called acetaldehyde in your gut. Science! Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break that down, lessening the effects in the morning. It acts like your liver, but in your gut. Super double combo organs! I'm actually out for dinner with friends tonight, so I'm gonna have one of these little delights right now. Meaning tomorrow I can still kick loads of productive ass and make videos about wrestling. So if you like to enjoy a few drinks but still want to win the next day, get 15% off your first order of Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic by clicking the link in the description box and use my code WrestleTalk at checkout. That's zbiotics.com/WrestleTalk. Use my code WrestleTalk and you'll get 15% off on your first order. I actually had Z-Biotics again before a gig on Sunday and hangover-free the next day. It's really good. Now it's time for my review of the WrestleMania Go Home You're Injured show. Backlash, edition of Monday Night Raw. in about 5 minutes. After WWE hastily rebooked the main event of WrestleMania. Backlash into a 6-man tag of the Bloodline versus Drew McIntyre and RK Bro. Yep, Roman Reigns is definitely 100% not injured, nothing to see here. The Bloodline showed up to open this episode of Raw, almost quicker than you could say "Acknowledge me, North Carolina." RK Bro awesomely RKO'd the Usos from out of nowhere, and Roman was surrounded by Orton, Riddle and McIntyre, where RK Bro immediately decided, well, that's our job done, we'll just leave these two in the ring to settle it mano a mano. Start making our way to the back for that marijuana. Oh no, the Usos just ran back in and stopped it all. This was an awesome start to the show, but the finish was lacking in that it didn't have one. The two sides were just pulled apart, the show went to break, and nothing was ever heard of them again. At this point, WWE's going to introduce trios titles before AEW, with the next match being another 6-man tag with the Street Profits and Ezekiel versus Alpha Academy and Kevin Owens, with the story based around Ezekiel clearly, obviously, definitely being LA Knight. It's right there, sheeple. This was a really fun match, which did the best job yet with Ezekiel, whose lack of in-ring connection with the crowd was made up for by having 5 other people do it for him. So, of course, Ezekiel picked up his first pinfall loss, being tripped by Owens into a technical pin by Gable. After Veer cervically clutched the Mysterios out of existence, WWE have leaned into him squashing a local enhancement talent every week by reviving the best part of Braun Strowman's initial main roster run 5 years ago. The Jobber Interview. Any man with 2 hands has a chance. Byron Saxton interviewed local wrestler Bert Hanson, who put over North Carolina. He put over Greensboro. He even put over Stevie's Barbecue down the road. All for Veer to annihilate his cervix too. Such a gross order of words. The Judgment Day versus AJ Styles storyline is getting better every week, and their Go Home segment had a match between Styles and Damian Priest, where if AJ won, Priest would be banned from ringside at WrestleMania. Backlash, which are really good stakes. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to be so insensitive there. You just can't say stakes around guys who used to be vampire gimmicks. I'm so sorry, Edge. Edge really fired up the crowd with an all the local hometown heat pre-match promo, and Priest worked over Styles' shoulder that Judgment Day had previously targeted. An awesome detail with it being the same body part Edge injured in 2020. This week though, a former Bullet Club leader did not get distracted by Edge just standing up. And using Edge's distraction attempt, AJ rolled up Priest to win. Judgment Day then went to give Styles another concerto, but Finn Balor ran down for the save and gave AJ a Bullet Club 2 suite. It's still awesome even after all these years. This feud has gone from strength to strength, with everyone looking better than when they started. And in wrestling, that's the best measure of storyline success, aside from ratings and ticket sales and merchandise sales. And with Priest now banned from ringside at WrestleMania, Backlash, it could set up the addition of Judgment Day's reported next member. Ciampa. Happy 50th birthday, Rock the Dwayne Johnson. 50 years old is actually relatively pretty young when you think of him in terms of his fellow geological minerals. Or part-timers set to main event WrestleMania. Miz hosted Mustafa Ali on Miz TV, where Ali was hazed with his music cutting out early or his microphone not working. Miz leaned into Ali trying to quit WWE in real life, telling him to just go to Twitter to complain. Theory then came out and revealed his mentor, why not just say Mr. McMahon, had booked Ali in a championship contenders match against both Theory and The Miz, which, thankfully for Ali, he lost really decisively, surely guaranteeing him a US title shot at the pay-per-view. It's how contenders championship matches work, right? Theory and Miz are really good together, and Ciampa attacked Ali with no explanation in the post-match again. Nikki ASH both won and lost the 24/7 title from and to Dana Brooke, after which Dana demanded a divorce from Reggie. The best thing here though was a potential reunion, where Doudrop seemingly set up a team with Nikki backstage afterwards, hopefully for a serious women's tag team title run, and not just more numbers to get the 24/7 title back. It was then time for Seth Rollins' Appreciation Night, ahead of his WrestleMania match against Cody Rhodes. Backlash. The crowd chanted for Cody, which Seth leaned into perfectly, so Cody came out in his own suit, seemingly borrowed from John Cena, in a battle of the jacket patterns. The money go home line here was Seth calling Dusty Rhodes a narcissist, that he wasn't good enough to win the WWE Championship, and Cody isn't good enough either. They brawled and Cody threw Seth's jacket into the crowd. Navy check jacket reigns supreme. Just when you thought WWE were done kicking the withered corpse of the Hurt Business, here's Cedric Alexander trying to get in with MVP again by taking on Bobby Lashley. Lashley squashed hometown boy Alexander as Amos and MVP watched on. This is a feud that would have had mass appeal 30 years ago, but now it's just for one man's kink, including you slow pan up Bobby's body in his entrance. And the main event saw a huge six-woman tag of Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley and Sonya Deville versus Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan and Asuka in the Empress of Tomorrow's first match in almost 9 months. That's 3 separate women's feuds interweaving here in the main event, which is a sign of really good booking of the division. Everyone worked really well here, but I was particularly into Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, with the latter effectively getting over their rivalry's intensity and Ripley feeling rejuvenated as a heel, showing a fire that has been neutered by her babyface non-characters. Asuka and Lynch were smartly kept apart, and Belair prevented Sonya from cheating to win. Another great booking point, with Deville's story being about rewriting the company's rules, letting Morgan get the win. A really fun match, although not a super hot go-home cliffhanger for the pay-per-view, because despite the strong women's division, I don't think they've actually got any matches there. What did you think of Raw? Let me know in the comments. I've said this every week for the past 3 weeks. I think this was the best Raw of the year so far. It's momentum, it's the storylines clicking, but most importantly, I think it's WWE actually paying attention to detail. It feels like there's actual logical progression from week to week, which has added a level of coherence missing from Monday nights. This week's Raw is 74%. Of course, WWE right now is all about WrestleMania. Backlash, but the biggest thing in wrestling is actually the Randy Games, which continues now. Randy Games, Randy Games, Randy Games, Randy Games, Randy Games. Okay. It's been a couple of hours now, boys, so it's time for day 2. You're gonna have to beat this guy right here, Adam Blompier. Tell him how you're gonna destroy him, Blomps.
What's the one thing that people know about Adam Blompier on YouTube? That's right. It's that I'm fast. I challenge you, Andrew Datson, to a foot race. First, to those rugby posts and back. And I tell you what, I hope you didn't fill up on bread at lunch, because you've got a second helping coming of my dust.
Contenders, ready. 3, 2, 1, go!
Can't be asked.
Randy Andy Datson, Randy Andy Dats, Randy Andy Datson, Randy Andy Dats. Randy Andy Datson, Randy Andy Datson, Randy Andy Datson, Randy Andy Dats.
Winner!
You may have bested Adam Blompier. It wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be, to be honest. But tomorrow, you're gonna have to face my OG best man, Luke Owen.
And none of this fake running. We're gonna do some proper running. Speed running!
Randy Games!
Randy Games.
So, Mia Yim versus Tamara Tycross in a normal match interference, GM interference for you. Lovely. Grand. I've actually done the right thing this time.
Welcome to the Raw brand. Tamara CrossFit. I don't give a you're here to lose to reckoning.